miracles, miracles, miracles. Um, Needed 250 to file a lien against my brother to help save my mother, who has lived a whole life of abuse. And, you know, this is, I was starting to say some things on my video, but the way I'm going to handle this court is not going to be different than, it's going to be completely different than the way traditional courts are done. So I think it's really relevant for everybody to kind of see how it's done. But I'm not going to tip my hand right now until it is done. But once it's done, I'm going to show you how it's done, because this is amazing. It's really freaking cool. And typically what I want to point out is there's an abuser and there's a victim. And this abuser, there's agencies, you know, the police, you know, children's services or elderly services or nonprofits that help victims of abuse. I mean, food banks, all of these people that are there to serve victims, they are non-existent. Okay, and everybody thinks they are. Everybody, this guy has a phone number of this guy, that has a phone number to this guy, that has a phone number there, that has a phone number there, that has a phone number there, that only has a number there, that 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 has a number there, that, I mean, you'll go insane, because the only help that's in any one of these agencies is they say, I can't help you, try this number. I can't help you, try this number. And it's really, really discouraging to see, because all of these people work for these guys because they got the money. The abusers always end up having the money because that's what happens to a victim. Now, in this family dynamics, patterns within patterns within patterns, whatever solves the problem within our families, think of this as the 1%. And this is the 99%. Okay, so basically, because we're 99% and we want to beat these guys, typically our mindset, in order for this small 99% to beat this 1%, you gotta get bigger than this guy. And 99% has a chance of making us do that. The only problem is now you are the abuser and they are the victim. We turn into what we hate through winning. The only way this is a win is if both sides win. It's the only way we're going to get out of this. Now, this video mainly, what I wanted to do is I've done my very best to be as pure and honest and helpful and open with everything that I know. I'm trying to share information that I know is relevant. May not be, but I think it is. I'm doing my part, I think, to improve society. Because it feels like I was this little tiny thing fighting this big, huge thing. Nobody's seen this until these protests. You know, we're all the victims. We are so detached from each other that there are lots of victims out there, but nobody knows that, hey, you're not alone. There's more people. When you're fighting this, it's so friggin' hard. And so I didn't think there was any hope for humanity. We've got all of this Armageddon, you know, the Bibles, which I don't like Bibles. That's one of the things we're going to have to change. You're going to have to accept you want a Bible or you want to live in a world of peace. Because if you have your Bibles, you're living in war. If you have, you know, you have to sort of make some changes within your Bibles. You know, we made an upgrade. You know, there was an Old Testament and a New Testament. Well, we need a New Testament. That all of us can agree to. All religions get together and come up with something that you agree. There is a God, but unfortunately, God doesn't have a multiple personality disorder. There's one God, one creator. So we need to merge, all of us, to be who we're supposed to be, the child of God. What does the child of God imply? Does God give birth to dogs, or does he give birth to something in his image? Only united together we form into the gods that we were meant to be. This is our evolution. So the revolution is causing us to revolution is causing us to evolution. Okay, you get the drift. But what really, really gives me a lot of hope is when I go out to all of those agencies, and I was treated like shit, especially this weekend trying to help my mother, the hospitals, the police, anybody that I got into contact didn't want to help. And even this last girl that I talked to who, was saying that, yeah, we are an organization that will go and visit your mom every day. And so I said, okay, good, then I need to be involved with you. And she's saying she can't tell me too much, so because of privacy. I'm the daughter, but I apparently have no rights about my mother's care and her safety. But so I'm trying to, pick her brain. I said, okay, fine, you can't tell me, but let me tell you then what's going on, because you need to know about the abuse. So went on, she let me talk and let her know exactly what the dynamics of our family is about. And at the end of it, she says, well, I'm confused. What do you want me to do about it? And I'm like shocked. It's like, well, you're supposed to be looking after the care of somebody's health, and somebody's reporting abuse. So I think you should be a little aware of, you're putting somebody who can't defend themselves right in the hands of an abuser. I think it's kind of relevant, but apparently to these people that look after the elderly don't care. So when she was saying, well, there's not much, I don't understand what it is you want me to do. And so and I'm talking real calm. I'm trying to be as calm as I can with these people. And I said, okay, let's just explore what you could do then. And because I don't know what you can do, and you don't know what you can do. So let's just explore and see what can we do. And so I asked her, okay, if you were in my shoes, what would you do? What would be your recommendation? So, and she says, well, go to the police. I said, well, I've done that. And they said, because I've left, I have no rights. I should have stayed. Basically saying that I should have stayed in the abuse and somehow there'd be help. My mother stayed in the abuse, there's still no help. So staying didn't help, leaving didn't help. It's got to be all this whole, we all got to kind of help ourselves, each other, because anybody that's getting paid ain't sure doing anything. So, after she was making that, she says, well, there's nothing I can do about it. And it's like, okay, if you were in my shoes, you would say there's nothing you can do. That's when you would give up. And she says, well, I'm going to just hang up now. And she's yelling at me, totally out of control, and acting as if I'm the one that's acting abusive towards her, that she needs to hang up the phone, because I've now said, oh, if this was your mother, that's what you would do, is give up. And I guess that offended her, but I'm just looking at, you would seriously, there's nothing else you would do after that? Because clearly I'm phoning you and I'm doing more than talking. I'm finding, lawyer, like she said, get a lawyer. I have got a lawyer, but I want to make sure she's safe in the meantime, because there's some things going down that my brother's really, really going to lose it. The way this lien is going to be done, it's magical. I'm just going to have to share how this is done, but it's got to be done in a way where my brother proves on my point. So it's kind of cool, and I'm definitely going to share that with everybody else and see how it works and how it unfolds. But the main thing is, I don't trust humanity. I don't believe in humanity. That has been my issue. I've been working a year trying to find belief in people. Everybody's in this Armageddon. Everybody has this death wish. Everybody's hopeless and helpless, and nobody's helping anybody. And it's like, how do we guide? Everybody's going off the path of destruction. And it's like, how do you guide people into the path of the solution? And I didn't see too many people that were too interested in it. But I had to believe that they were out there. That's where it had to start, is I had to believe people were out there. And I'm telling you, I've got the $250 was deposited into my account. I'll keep the person's name private, unless you would like me to let everybody know. But somebody that watches my channel, actually several people, I've had several people. So those that wanted to donate, I have the money. That's all I needed. I may need a flight, but I'm going to worry about that when the time comes, because there's a good chance that I could be represented in court, and it could be possibly handled without me, or it could be handled partially and release some of those funds so I could afford to go down, as well my sister to go and testify, and bring my mom back home here. So, you know, we're all helping each other. Look at Occupy Wall Street. Everybody's helping each other there. When we're going to design these new systems for Occupy Wall Street, that's going to be the new government. The new government is everybody. There is no leader. That's the system. I'm monitoring the development of the systems. So while they're having conversations, I'm seeing how they're building it. And so I'm definitely putting my 2 cents in when I see it's going off a wrong path. Because I want to say it. And it doesn't mean it has to go my way. It's just, let's have the conversation and see, is your path right or is my path right? Let's open and explore what it is we know. And that's what's going on right now in the background. So it is so time to get loving. It is so time to get rid of that 2012 is going to be the Armageddon. No, 2012 is when we're going to have a global wake-up. So I would suspect that this global system is going to be developing. It's going to take until December 2012 until the system is completed. So I think we might be in for a little bit of a rough year. But if we show examples of what I've experienced of this miracle of somebody helping me out, if we can all help each other, we're going to be just fine. That is the new society, is where you go out on the street and say, you know, how can I serve you? How can I help? How can I participate in this change? And that's how we're going to create it all, because we're all out there. We're all doing it. And thank you so much. And again, to all of those that have offered to send money, I've got the full 250. I don't need any more. Possibly flight, but that's nothing to worry about yet. And I will definitely return the money and double it should we win. Because I know that my mother would want to show her gratitude for you saving her. So I know that 250 is going to be more like 500 that I'm going to return back, and I got your PayPal account. So you're definitely going to get paid back, and paid back double. So and that doesn't stop there. You need anything from me, and I can do anything to help you. If I'm available and I can do anything to help, I'm here to serve in whatever way possible. You got to set the example, and the example was set for me. And somebody out there that's not part of this system sent me $250. And Katie is doing the legal work for nothing, which, by the way, Katie is extremely busy, because I think Six Nations, I think it's the natives, I think they're calling them Six Nations. I'm really bad with names. But she's working right now with these people because they're uncovering a Holocaust that happened here in Canada. Canada is not the peaceful country that everybody thinks we are. Follow the money. Why is Canada's economy not doing so bad? You know, China, why are their economies doing so great? You know, follow the money to find the evil, the abuser. And Canada is definitely doing really well. Well, we're kind of stuttering, but in comparison to the States and other countries, Canada is not doing all that bad. And so a lot of people in Canada don't know that there's a problem. But we are one hell of a violent nation. We profit off the death of others. But it's so well hidden, nobody sees that it's going on. And apparently what they're working on, I think the number was something like 3 million babies and kids, natives, were killed and buried in a mass grave. It almost sounds to me, I don't know the numbers, I'm going to try and work on that one, but it sounds to me that there was a genocide worse than the Holocaust, and nobody stopped the Christians, because it was the Christians that did it. The Christians really went out of their way to get rid of all of Native people. They split their families up, they got them addicted to alcohol, they did as much to destroy those people as possible. And So it is religion that did it, and it also is the Queen. The Queen's got blood on her hands causing a Holocaust. And that's what I think. That's my impression of what I'm seeing so far. So, and he's helping them out. Peace out. Love to you.